executive producer, World of Warcraft, Holly Longdale.
That's the one? Yeah, bro, I live for this shit. Give me, oh, fuck off. Give me, Jesus, 720p, that'll do. It's the best I can get.
Wow. What's up, BlizzCon? Oh, I'm so excited to see you all here. This is fantastic.
Doesn't she look so nervous, bro?
Well, can you believe we've been playing World of Warcraft for almost 20 years? You know,
Yeah, she looks
2012
so
was a while
nervous.
ago, right? You know, some of us, we waited in those lines for those midnight releases and got our discs. Yeah! And we raced home to install those WoW discs one by one. Across nearly 2 decades, players all over the world have taken part in the stories of Jaina, Sylvanas, Arthas, and Thrall.
Everyone loves Stroll.
And of course, so many others. And together, we've jumped through the portal into Outland. We sailed off into Northrend, and we watched Sargeras stab the world with that sword.
Have I not turned it up? That better?
During that time, gaming has changed, and you have changed, and so have we, particularly in the past year. The entire team across both Modern and Classic have embraced their communities. We are truly listening to your voices and taking action. My friends at BlizzCon, now is the perfect time to prepare to close chapters, open new ones, and double down on why we all fell in love with World of Warcraft in the first place.
Okay.
With that in mind, let's get to it. As many of you know, WoW Classic was born out of the community's passion. And of course, most of you know that still drives us today. Like just in August, inspired by our community, we released Classic Hardcore.
They didn't do much of an announcement of that, though.
So, in Hardcore, you only get one life. And if you die, you may laugh, you may cry, you may have to replace the keyboard, but you go again. We've loved watching you take on the challenge or die trying. And because the hardcore community has asked, the team is planning to add a new way to play hardcore early next year. And last month in Wrath Classic, we released the Fall of the Lich King patch. And while there's still more to come in Wrath, earlier this year, we looked at your feedback to think about where are we gonna go next. We read through a lot, and I mean a lot of your feedback on social media forums, and we sent out surveys to our players.
Yeah, I remember that survey.
And
That
here
survey was for the Cataclysm
at
one.
BlizzCon, we're happy to announce
Yep, Cataclysm.
Cataclysm
Yeah.
is coming.
I know. I don't know, man. Cataclysm was
And
okay. It was
It's coming with
okay.
hashtag changes based on
Oh,
your
what changes?
feedback, just like you'd expect from Classic. So now, let's jump into the Wayback Machine and get a reminder of all things Cataclysm.
Yeah, but what are they changing, though? It depends if they change it to the better. Because I remember, like, Firelands Raid was fucking awesome. Oh, yeah, here we go. remember when I originally like watched this, and I got super hyped for it, and I was like, man, this is cool. We need to fight that big ass fucking dragon. I remember my first reaction to that when I first seen the trailer.
Sons and daughters of Gilneas, hold the barricade! Do not give them an inch!
People hate first time because it was only 5 levels.
Neltharion, it is time to end this.
That walking. I hate walking, man. I actually hate that class. Oh, no. That rate, I don't like it at all.
So that its true lords may return.
Actually, I barely like the goblins, man. I don't even think I've ever played one. I'll be real. I think I tried it, and that's it. This raid was cool. I don't know what you guys are on about. This fucking raid was absolute boss. I love that raid. That was fucking awesome. Fire lanes is insane. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for the classic community. They get their experience, and I already experienced it. I don't think, unless it got some really good changes, I don't think I'll still play classic unless it's got some good changes. And honestly, I hated this version of Stormwind. I actually despised it. I thought it was shit. Every single time I went to Stormwind, the whole expansion was terrible. This the way it looked, it was shit. I didn't like it. Like, that's the biggest turning point for me. It was just, the bad guy has to say who he is. Yeah, pretty much.
Get ready, my friends, because I love the passion, by the way. Get ready, my friends, because the road to Deathwing's destruction is coming in the first half of next year.
I don't think I'll play it, honestly. I don't think I will. I'm not into
right.
it. I didn't play Wrath Classic. I don't think
Now,
I'll play that. Like, I loved
Over
Wrath.
the past 4
No,
years,
I didn't play
of
Wrath Classic.
we've watched you master the vanilla experience, and we've loved it. So much, in fact, that we thought we'd add some unique flavor
Ooh,
with
okay,
a
what's
seasonal
this?
note and a dash of discovery. Season of Discovery is Vanilla WoW with a spicy twist. You're going to discover new secrets as you scour the world and find class-altering abilities.
Wait, what?
Have you ever wondered what it might be like to be a tanking warlock? Or take on the role of a mage healer?
Wait! Yo, that's fucking
Season
cool!
of Discovery,
That's
you
fucking
can.
cool! What? What? No shit, really?
The season is going to launch with an initial level cap of 25. And when you hit that max level, you'll be met with a brand new
What?
level 25 engine.
Bro, I might actually start playing. That's
You'll
fucking
discover
cool.
A brand new 10-player Black Fathom Deeps raid with new and reimagined bosses, mechanics, and of course, rewards. Then, after a couple of months, we'll raise the level cap a bit. You'll find even more endgame content, and so it will go. If you're here at BlizzCon, you can play the
Yo,
Black
okay,
Fathom
that
Deeps
gives me
raid in
chills, bro.
Warcraft.
That makes Classic worth playing, bro. Holy fuck. That's cool. That is fucking cool.
If you love Classic or just a little intrigued about what exactly a Warlock tank can do, go check it out.
Yeah, imagine they bring in the
For all
Shaman
of
tank
you
too.
watching online, don't
Like, they didn't
worry.
bring it up, but
You won't
maybe.
have to wait
Shaman
long
tank.
to play.
Finally.
Because we want you to discover all of the secrets together, there will be no public testing. WoW Classic
No public
Discovery
testing?
launches in a few short weeks on November 30th.
What? On the 30th? Oh my god!
For more information on the Season of Discovery and Cataclysm, don't miss the classic panel this afternoon. All right, now it's time to talk to my Dragon Riders in Modern WoW.
Yeah, thanks, Susie. What's going on with Modern WoW, bro?
Our team remains committed to giving you meaningful game updates about every 8 weeks with more content sprinkled in between. We really want Azeroth to feel alive and the home you want to come back to no matter how you play. Our next major update, Guardians of the Dream, is going live in just 5 days.
5 days.
I
Let's
want
go.
to give a shout out to my elves. It is finally our time. 1 week
Yeah, that's a
later,
nice
Season
cosplay.
3 will start with the last raid of the expansion, Amir Drasil, the Dream's Hope. There we will have our final showdown with Farak and defend our new world tree. But
Thanks,
fear
Fred.
not,
Welcome back, mate.
that's not the end of our time in the Dragon Isles. There's a lot more to come in Dragonflight that will serve as both the epilogue of this story and the bridge to our next one. Like I said earlier, we are evolving. We are changing our approach to this big, beautiful game and
Oh, I'm
how we
getting
look
chills.
ahead
What are we
to new
doing?
chapters.
What are we doing? So hype me up so
BlizzCon,
much.
it's time for a new adventure. One that has grown from the very seeds of what captured our hearts when we first set foot in Azeroth. For veteran players, the last 20 years have led us
come
to
on.
this.
Give me something
And
good.
for those who have
Give me
yet to
something
join
good.
us, now is the time. And who better to talk about the first step in this journey?
Chris Mason. This is gonna be Chris Mason, y'all.
Than someone who carved the path in the first place. Everyone, please welcome my friend and the executive creative director of the Warcraft universe, Chris Metzen.
Bro, you get like instant tears. This is good. Come with the tears. Yeah, I love this dude. Oh, fuck, it's so good to see this guy not Ghost Crawler, bro. For once.
What up, BlizzCon?
Oh, this fucking guy was built for it, dude. This guy was
Holy
built for it.
smokes. Horde, where you at?
Why did he walk out in the first place? Honestly, bro, this guy's fucking nuts.
Alliance! BlizzCon as one! Holy smokes, thank you. Thank you.
Holy shit,
It is,
bro.
thank you guys.
I'm
It
actually
has
wiping
been
away
a
a tear.
long,
Holy crap.
strange trip to get back to this spot.
Oh my
I tell you
God.
that.
This is good.
It has been interesting this past year being back under the hood of World of Warcraft. It has reminded me of a few things. One, I love Warcraft.
Of course you fucking do, bro. That's why you came back.
Number two, you know what? I really missed this work.
Why'd you fucking
And
leave in
number
the first
three,
place, bro?
On the real, it feels amazing to be back and part of this Blizzard family again.
Can I wish I could say business back. I don't know, man. I'll see what they have in store.
As Holly said a bit ago, next year is the 20th anniversary of World of
I watch you on
Warcraft.
YouTube.
I can't even believe it. Whatever. How many of y'all have been playing from the beginning?
Not me, sadly. I'll be playing halfway through
you.
Burning.
Crazy. So given that,
He called out someone in...
what was that? Doesn't matter. We started thinking, so what next? Right? What expansion hook What single storyline could possibly match such a historic occasion? We started thinking about, well, I did, the good old days, right? And some of those early mythic ideas that kind of established the background of Warcraft. Started thinking about even some of the newer ideas that have played out more recently, but still in a way feel a little unresolved. And in the mix of all that stuff, in the mix of all those ideas, particular things like, what the hell has Magni actually been babbling about all these years? Was the thing that he came to warn us about in Battle for Azeroth, did it actually play out? Or is there potentially something darker still looming on the horizon? I don't know. Will there eventually be an apocalyptic confrontation between the forces of the light and the void? Talk to me, BlizzCon. I'll tell you what, for nothing, my pally Maine, I'm all in on that kind of thing if it happens. It's gonna happen. And really the big question for all the marbles, what have the Titans actually been doing since the dawn of civilization?
Oh.
What is the real purpose of all of their cute little installations slammed into the side of the planet? Do we know everything we need to
You mean
know
the giant sword?
about their real intentions for our world? Just saying.
I mean,
BlizzCon. All of these hooks and 100 more. 68, carry the 2. A bunch more. All cooking in the pot. Started to reveal a storyline. Something epic. How epic? Real epic. A storyline that in almost every way feels like the culmination of the first 20 years of our storytelling. A storyline provided we do our jobs, we do the thing
Yeah.
that will vector us into the next 20 years of adventure.
Next 20 years? What? Bro, I'll be like 50.
BlizzCon. Are you with me, BlizzCon?
Yeah!
We call this storyline the World Soul Saga.
World Soul Saga. Okay. Saga
The
meaning...
World Soul Saga is so epic, as we covered. It cannot be contained within any single expansion. It is built to play out over multiple
Saga.
expansions over the next few years. Come on now.
3 fucking expansions?
Having said that, we are working
Wow,
on
step, by the way.
multiple ways to deliver this adventure to you a little faster than you're used to. We're not going to get into it at this BlizzCon, forgive me. But keep your ears peeled. I assure you, we are moving with purpose. And the last thing we really want is for y'all to have your grandkids controlling your mouse and your keyboard trying to wrap this thing up. So, it's coming.
What's coming?
Also, given the scale of this monster, we have decided to change it up today. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Instead of just debuting your next expansion all on its lonesome, we have decided to give you a glimpse at your next 3 expansion sets.
Oh, let's go. Let's fucking go, dude.
Does this meet with your approval, BlizzCon?
Yes. 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 Let's go.
My friends, I'm gonna warn you, there may be mild spoilers ahead.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Just show us, man.
Actually, I'm just kidding. They ain't mild. Buckle up. Are you ready, BlizzCon? The first part of the World Soul Saga and your 10th expansion is called World of Warcraft: The War Within.
The war within. Okay.
In this chapter, you will be descending into the heart of Azeroth itself,
Ooh.
exploring new subterranean kingdoms,
Oh!
engaging with
Nerubian!
ancient cultures like the Earthen and the terrifying Nerubians.
Oh, shit! What? Finally, they expand on that content, bro.
But as the forces of darkness close in around our precious world soul, yeah, that's you, will be called to do what you always do, which is dispense indiscriminate justice upon all those who got it coming. Talk to me, BlizzCon.
Oh, okay. Ooh, Nerubian,
The
man, that's
second
got me
part
hooked
of
already.
the World Soul Saga is called World of Warcraft: Midnight.
Midnight, I'm assuming.
In this chapter, you will be returning,
Ghosts.
ready, to the old world,
Old world, okay.
to the fabled lands of Quel'Thalas. There, the forces of the Void have invaded Azeroth, intent on snuffing out the light of the Sunwell and plunging the world into darkness and fear.
Okay.
You will not only help reunify the scattered elven tribes of Azeroth, but you will make your stand with the forces of the light and banish the shadow forever.
I knew it had something to do with spirits or shadow. It's literally implied in the name.
Of course, BlizzCon, it is Azeroth. Things may not go to plan. Things may just spiral wildly out of control, leading us
I'm
to
thinking that too, Jax.
the third part of the World Soul Saga.
Come on.
World of Warcraft: The Last Titan.
Oh, the last Titan. Yo, you get to kill all the fucking Titans over the expansions? What? So every
In this
expansion is
chapter,
a new Titan to kill?
will again be returning to the old world, this time to the wintry lands of Northrend.
Oh, bro, what?
And there, at Ulduar, you will bear witness to the return of the Titans to Azeroth. And there, you will uncover
Oh,
a
man.
vast conspiracy.
I'm gonna have to find a guild,
One
bro.
that
Already.
stretches throughout the history of the world.
I'm gonna find a guild.
One that will challenge everything you think you know about the Titans, their intentions, and the true nature of Azeroth itself. In time, my friend. In time. And it's called Silithus. There you go. BlizzCon, my hope, our dear hope, is that you can see when it comes to WoW storytelling, we ain't screwing around.
That's a pretty good one.
We are playing for all the marbles. We are working to establish a thundering heartbeat for this franchise. Now, Now, BlizzCon. Hearken to me. Always wanted to say that. Thank you. Whether you are a current player, and I'm going to bet that most of you are, or maybe you jumped off the WoW train a few expansions ago, now is the time to come home.
Home. Wait, home.
Now is the time to pull on your boots, pick up your broadsword or your favorite glowy staff,
Home. Wait, what?
and get in this fight.
Is this something else he's trying to
Friends,
imply?
Azeroth needs her defenders now more than ever. Now, in a few moments, we are going to give you a deeper look at the war within. But before we do that, I want to leave you with a little something to chew on. I want to remind you all that sometimes very epic things can begin with small, heartfelt moments. What you're about to see is one of those moments. And with that, BlizzCon, proud defenders of Azeroth,
Oh my god, I miss his voice so much. I really
let
do.
the World Soul Saga begin.
Alright, here we go. Anduin? Is this Anduin? Oh, he's grown up now.
You're here to tell me we don't get to hide.
Oh shit.
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
Oh fuck it.
You didn't just come here for me. It's the visions. You've seen them.
I suspect many have lately.
Bro, I'm holding back tears right now, bro. Holy fuck. This is so beautifully done.
Something, someone, is calling out from the heart of the world. Like a voice from a dream. Something dark is coming, Anduin. The world needs your light again. My son.
I am not that person anymore. I have no light. Not after what I've seen. Not after what I've done.
You are not your past, Anduin. I trust you.
They're getting worse. Look, whatever's coming, I'll stand with you. Of course I will. But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it, Thrall? Who's calling out to us?
I'm not sure yet. But that sword was aimed at someone.
That girl. That's someone. I don't know how the fucking planets survive that. That's... Oh. That was really good.
I guess we're not ignoring that sword anymore. I do have to say, though, every time I see that cinematic, and I've seen it many times, it gets me right in my heart. It feels like a new beginning, and it feels like coming home. And we are so excited about where we are going. And now that you've seen or heard the overview for the World So Saga, let's talk about the war within. As we all gather and explore beneath the surface, we'll find an ancient Nerubian civilization. They will be led by someone we were first introduced to in Legion, Xal'atath, a harbinger of the Void. The Void brings destruction and darkness that threatens all light in our world. The last time we saw Xal'atath, she promised we would meet again. And it turns out she was right.
I keep getting confused with Black Prince.
And while Anduin, Thrall, and others share the same visions emanating from the heart of the world, some are seeing something quite different.
I was thinking Dagger, but I wasn't sure it was the S-Priest one.
My visions are not the same as the others. No radiance, no song. Just the shadow, taunting me
Oh, man.
from below.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, man, I want to rate that. Is this a rank? No, this is a new zone. Oh, they actually look really good. Well, not that one. I don't really like that one. What's your warband? Master hero talents. Hero talents? What? A new race. There. Dynamic flight. Oh, your old mounts! The new dynamic flight! They're bringing the writing. They're bringing the writing from the expansion.
The fate of our world rests upon the edge of a knife. And our battle lies deep within.
Did you see the tip of the sword coming through the caravan?
In the War Within, alongside beautiful, unique underground zones, we will have challenging dungeons and raids and some new features too that are built to last. If you like exploring our...
Wait, I gotta pause here. Built to last. They're not doing borrowed power anymore? They're getting rid of borrowed power? Like you get this power, you keep it? Is that what they're doing?
On your own with a couple of friends or family, we have delves. These are a variety of bite-sized experiences for 1 to 5 players.
Okay, so 1 to 5. Is this the old scenario shit, like from fucking Mr. Pandaria? I honestly I didn't like that shit personally, but I don't know. We'll see. I didn't even get into it, so I can't really comment on it. But I just had no interest in it in the first place. Is it scenarios returned?
Players that will offer endgame rewards. You may also find in your delve a familiar character who'd be willing to fight alongside you. And if you're like me and you have an obsession with alts, we have war bands. With this feature, you could treat all of your characters like family and share banks, reputations, transmogs.
What? Share banks.
We're also introducing a new layer of customization.
You can always
for
share
your class
transmog. What do you mean?
specs with hero talents.
Oh.
You might want to take
Wait,
your
you
character
claim-
down the path of a Dark Ranger, let's say, or a Farseer, and more.
What?
Also, during your travels underground, you will meet the Earthen Dwarves, and you'll be able to unlock them as our new allied race.
I'm not really keen on the new race. I don't care.
I mean, who doesn't love a dwarf? The facial hair options are spectacular. There's so much more.
Wait, what? Leather classes can wear male X-Mog and vice versa? She didn't. Did she say that? I missed it?
More to talk about, so please join the What Next panel that's coming up right after the opening ceremony right here. What I can tell you, though, is that the call to get into the fight to save our world will ring out when The War Within releases next year.
Well, how soon next year, though? Coming fall 2024.
And lastly, I sincerely want to say, we are so excited to begin this new journey with you. And from our hearts to yours, thank you for bringing our world to life.
Yo, that's fucking nuts, guys. Holy shit. That is fucking nuts. Like, yeah. Is there more stuff to watch? They've got Diablo 4 stuff too. Like, they've got Diablo 4 13 hours ago. Is there anything new happening on Diablo 4? Like, do you guys, is there more stuff with WoW? Or is this only you reckon October-ish? Watch the next part. There's more. What's next panel? Stop, scroll back up. What's the next panel? That's Asmon. What's next? This one. It says I've watched it, but that's my brother because we share the same account. But I haven't watched it at all. This is it. Okay. I'm gonna have a quick piss, and I'll be right back. Okay. So let me put this on.
Here's our
I'll be right back, chat. Just give me a sec. I have a quick piss, and I'll be back. Fuck. Cool. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to use the door really quick. I was busting halfway through the previous video. I was like, no, I think I better go this time. All right, what's next? What is next? Okay.
here's our first presentation World of Warcraft, What's Next?
Four years have passed since the mortal races gathered together in Anaheim, California. And now, the drums of BlizzCon thunder once again. Let me hear the thunder! Yes! Ah! Oh, thank you.
Oh my god, that.
Thank you for being here with us today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Warcraft What's Next panel. My name is Taryn Gregory, and as you may have heard, thank you. As you may have heard from Chris during the opening ceremonies, we are at the dawn of a new era of Warcraft. The World Soul Saga, a story that will play out over the next 3 expansions and will take us on an adventure in World of Warcraft like we've never experienced before. This saga kicks off with the War Within. In this first chapter, our heroes will be called on an expedition to the subterranean depths of Azeroth, revealing a new world full of mystery, wonder, and darkness. There we will confront the shadows below and face new challenges on the battlefield as well as in ourselves. So what is next? During this section, I'll share an overview of the story of the War Within, and then next you'll hear from Maria Hamilton, who will speak to zones and cultures, and then wrapping up with Morgan Day, who will talk about dungeons, the raid, and our new systems. Let's dig in. In our cinematic reveal, did you guys enjoy the cinematic?
Yeah,
Woo!
I did.
Big shout out to the cinematic team for their work on that. It's just incredible work. We witnessed as Thrall found Anduin Wrynn, who has been wandering alone for the last few years, grappling and lost in his own thoughts and dealing with the experience that he's been through, as many of you may have remembered. Throughout this and our features trailer, we learned 2 very important developments, starting with these visions. Thrall spoke of a vision calling out from the heart of the world, like a voice from a dream. This radiant song will compel our heroes to investigate its origins, and while at the same time, a darkness has been gathering. Even as the heroes adventured on the Dragon Isles, and in the War Within, the mysterious harbinger that Iridikron spoke of will reveal themselves. Xal'atath has returned.
Well, now that I see the actual name, yes, now I remember the Shadow
Freed
Priest.
long
there,
ago
yeah.
from the black blade that once bound her, she is now the harbinger of a new era of the Void's dark machinations. And her message is clear. The Black Empire has fallen. The old gods are dead. And their ancient blood runs deep within the cracks of the world. We, the heroes of Azeroth, destroyed them. The forces of the Horde and the Alliance have proven time and again they are among the most powerful armies that have ever stood. The Harbinger has watched
I
this.
mean, technically
She
they're
is
immortal,
patient.
so
And
yeah.
while the Black Empire failed, Xal'atath now seeks to set in motion the rise of a new dark legacy.
They're
One
immortal,
that
come on,
knows our
guys.
true strength and will seek to test it against a new threat of terrible power, the Nerubians of Ashkahet.
Can I tell you how much I
Xal'atath
love
has
this zone?
conscripted
It's
the Nerubian
really
Queen
beautiful.
Ansarek, having offered her people a new future, one in which they will rise from their isolation as a mighty kingdom once again. And here in this sprawling city of Ashkahet, we will not find the undead soldiers of the Lich King that we faced before, but instead a new mighty stronghold of the Nerubians as they once were, deadly survivors of the mythic wars that have played out time and again over thousands of years. In return for their loyalty, Xal'atath has granted the Nerubians the means of a dark evolution, one that will turn the Nerubians into a new kind of ferocious and terrifying soldier that we will clash against time and again in the War Within. Now let's talk about who we'll be adventuring with. How do you like the key art? Several of Azeroth's greatest heroes will rise to the call of the Radiant Song, and many will be faced with their own unique challenges. Anduin, having survived his ordeal with domination. Yes, look at the art. Oh, Incredible artwork.
It does look good.
And when we'll be grappling with his relationship to the holy light that he no longer feels worthy of, while Thrall is seeking a connection to these visions, spreading across the world and working to find his new place in the Horde, while Magni Bronzebeard, long the Speaker of Azeroth, will confront the heavy weight of that responsibility once and for all. Champion! The wounds champion! Yes! But that brings us to, I know you saw this in the features trailer, Alleria Windrunner. Alleria's journey will be central to the events of the themes of the War Within, as she, a Void Hunter, will use all of her prowess to hunt down the Harbinger while being torn between her own nature and the maddening call of the Void to which she is attuned. Along the adventure, she will have a unique rivalry with Xal'atath, whose twists and turns will come to define the nature of this new conflict. Of course, we'll see many more familiar faces on our journey and meet a host of new and interesting characters along the way that Maria is going to tell you more about in just a moment. But finally, this saga is only just beginning. Conceived to be... Yes! Conceived to be an epic worthy of the first 20 years of World of Warcraft.
Do you reckon we'll eventually enter the sword and then have an entire raid inside the sword or something silly like that?
The World Soul Saga aims to redefine the storytelling in our expansion set and strike boldly at
Look
the
how
core
big
themes
that
of
sword
defining Warcraft.
is.
The might of heroes, the responsibility of that power, the pursuit of justice. Got to do my best Mets in there. Justice!
What the sword said.
And the importance of finding common ground as well as ourselves amidst adversity. Up next, may I introduce Maria Hamilton, who will be sharing more about our zones and cultures in the War Within. Thank you so much.
Hello, BlizzCon. Wow, I am so excited to be here and delighted to represent our team and tell you about
Honestly, I thought you looked like John Voight for a second. My bad.
the places that we will explore and the cultures we will encounter.
I thought
in
I'd
the
say
War
John
Within.
Voight.
I can't really see all of you out there. I know there's a lot of you, though, because I can hear you. And I hope to hear lots of oohs and ahs when you see some of this cool art I've got to show you. So let's get started. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, as Taryn mentioned earlier, we'll be called by the Radiant Song, dreamlike visions that come from the heart of the Azeroth. This summons is going to lead us to the subcontinent of Khaz-Algar, a place long forgotten. It's only through recent explorations in Uldaman that we've discovered a Watcher report concerning a contingent of Earthen that was sent to this place long, long ago to investigate a fissure in the sector. What exactly that means, we don't really know, but we can probably speculate. So first, let's talk about the Earthen. Ooh, there you go. There you go. All right, we have met Titan-forged Earthen before, of course, in Ulduar and other places. But this society of Earthen has been isolated within Khaz-Algar for a really long time and have developed their own manners and customs. Now, visually, these Earthen are a bit larger in stature, and they're noticeably blinged out. They've got gems all over them, bedazzled, blinged out, you know, that kind of thing, right? But philosophically, they are guided by the Edicts of the Titans, a set of codified orders, duties, and expectations that provide instructions for the core functions of their society. You know, Titans, order, all that, right? But the Titans have been absent for eons, and the Earthen are no longer united in their adherence to these edicts. They now exist as three groups that are estranged from each other. The Oathsworn, as their name suggests, still uphold the edicts faithfully and believe everyone else is doing it wrong. Their charge is guarding the Core Way, a Titan passageway that leads right to the core of Azeroth. They're primarily the city dwellers. They live conveniently near the object of their responsibility, that Core Way. Now, the Unbound, in contrast, have abandoned the edicts, and they are considered scandalously rebellious by the Oathsworn. Their original responsibility was providing the materials to keep the Titan installation supplied, and they're primarily rural. They're living in and around the quarries and the mines where natural resources can be acquired. They rarely interact with the city dwellers. They feel neglected and ignored because they have a different opinion on how they should live. Now, the machine speakers have strayed from the edicts in practice, but not with respect to their overall obligation to keep the Titan works functioning. They've had extremely limited contact with the surface dwellers, and they express no little disdain for those who just don't understand the great machines. Their homes are built around vast industrial projects under the surface that allow them to perform their functions in accordance with edicts, more or less. These different perspectives among the Earthen and their variable adherence to the Titan's edicts has weakened the society as originally structured. And that's not good, of course, but a much more serious problem is their steadily dwindling numbers. For reasons that I'm not going to get into here and now, New Earthen can't exist until we help them out by doing some things and unite the Earthen society once more. Happily, as a result of our actions, the Earthen will eventually be unlocked as an allied race.
Oh.
Yeah. Like sweet, don't they? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean...
These player Earthen will replenish the culture's dwindling numbers and may join either the Horde or the Alliance. Yeah. It is, of course, player's choice which side you wish to ally with. But as you can see from a small sampling of combinations, there's some fantastic variations and customizations coming for the Earthen models, including different gem incrustations, beards for all body types, rocky skin patterns, tones, and more. Now that golden mohawk with the braids and the fringe beard, that's quite the look. But I really like the beardless guy with the bushy blonde eyebrows. He looks so cool. He's just kind of like, yep, what do you want me to do? So anyway, all right, moving on. Another cool culture that players will encounter in the War Within is the Arathi. Yeah. Yeah, and you probably have questions, right?
They look like they moved
awkwardly.
awkwardly.
These are descendants of the original Arathorian Empire, and they've arrived relatively recently and through some somewhat mysterious circumstances. And they find themselves trapped here within...
I really don't like them. I'm gonna tell you right now, chat. I fucking hate this. I think this looks terrible, honestly. But that's my opinion. I don't like it.
In Khazalgar. Mysterious mostly because I can't say anything more about it just yet because of spoilers, but it's not like spooky mysterious. It's the other kind.
Oh, I hate it.
As a people, the Arathi are worshippers and wielders of holy fire. They are dedicated to bringing hope and light to the darkness. They're tough, resilient people, with every member of the society being an able combatant. Some few are further blessed with paladin-like abilities through their devotion to the light. Even their airships are powered by sacred flame.
I'm enjoying the
The extent to which they're comfortable in battle is probably a good thing, because they have established a home away from home in an enormous cavern bordered by an endless underground sea, from which terrifying creatures emerge to rampage and create havoc. Not my idea of a cool place to hang out, but they're really, really tough. These watery monstrosities, though, are nothing compared to the threat from below. A constant swarm of Nerubians has been held back so far from invading the Arathi lands. The assault is unrelenting, the threat is dire, and the Arathi can't hold much longer. These bastions of light against the darkness are far from home and
you reckon they
limited
look
in
sick,
number.
Zana?
Sure would be terrible
I'll have
if
to
there
see
was
some
also
like
division within the Arathi
animations.
ranks. Just
I'm all about
saying.
the animations of
That
my
would be
characters. You know, I
pretty
hate.
rough, what
I
with
hate
them
it when they
being
look
so
like
outnumbered.
that.
We could probably help them. All right, speaking of the Nerubians in the War Within, we'll explore their last kingdom deep within Khazalgar.
I like these models. They're not bad.
These ancient survivors of the Black Empire who rejected their former masters have developed their own culture here in the deep darkness. As Terran mentioned earlier, Xal'atath has made a bargain with the Nerubian queen Ansurek, who seeks a new future and renewed glory for her people.
Wait, are these playable?
The Nerubians are extremely capable and devious adversaries who have been honing their skills with their constant assault on the Arathi. But domination hasn't come fast enough for the Queen's taste, as the Arathi has managed to hold against this onslaught.
Oh,
So
man.
this deal with the Harbinger has included some assistance for her troops. Through some dark alchemical process, Xalatath has provided the knowledge required to evolve chosen Nerubians into paragons of their race, enhancing their viciousness.
Stolen from a cartoon
And Queen
design.
Azurek has embraced these modifications with enthusiasm and eagerly offered her army to achieve the Harbinger's schemes. It appears to be a win-win situation.
Bro, I'd really like to play one of these. I'm not gonna lie, they would really look cool. I mean, they kind of run funky, I'm assuming, with the animations and shit. But just imagine with your 4 arms, like picking up with like they'll have the two dislodged type arms at the back, and then like picking up this shotgun or something and start running in battle. It kind of look fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
But not all Nerubians share their sovereign's enthusiasm for change and her embrace
Yeah,
of
I know.
Xalatath.
4 weapons,
Shadowy
yeah.
figures
I
with
mentioned
far
that.
too many limbs maneuver
Yeah.
against the Harbinger's plans in opposition to the Queen's desire.
I mean, we got walkers that hold guns, man. Come on.
As you might expect, any foray into this Nerubian kingdom introduces us to a variety of citizens, including some forms we've never encountered before. Here's a layout
Multi-wheeled,
of
yeah.
some of the Nerubian models that are
Whole
completed
new
and also some that are in
class
progress,
that spawns from
as well as
they were
scale
insane.
reference for goblins and humans, so you just get a sense of size. In addition to the Nerubian citizens, there are also domesticated insects who serve the kingdom as beasts of burden and pets. The team is hard at work building out the full range of carapaces, carapae, I don't know, whichever, skittering legs.
Wait, does this mean new models? Like actually new models? They're not fucking like taking from a previous expansion, bringing it into a new expansion, and then immediately just recoloring them, and then they got the same stupid animation. They're actually creating brand new fucking models. Oh my god! Actual new shit.
Legs, grabby arms, piercing spiky bits, and creepy eyes for you to enjoy, I guess. All right, let's talk about our zones. The surface of Khazalgar is our first zone, called the Isle of Dorn. This is the home of the earthen surface dwellers, as well as other native species of creatures.
Oh, bro.
The fertile soil, flowering plant life, and generous waterways provide nourishment for animals in this untouched paradise.
This is really
An
nice.
important
I like
facet
this
of
design.
earthen society is Cinderbrew mead. This volatile substance is manufactured from molten honey produced by enormous fiery bees. Their home groves are a remarkable sight as the hearts of the trees themselves glow with lava-like fluid. Harvesting is always an exciting time as the ferocious creatures are understandably protective of their hives. Now the roosts at Storm Watch are wreathed with lightning and fierce winds. These wild elemental rooks may choose to serve a member of the Oathsworn, who if so blessed becomes a Storm Rider, one of the guardian warriors of the Earth People.
Wow.
The Unbound deal with hostile
That's
creatures from
really
time to
nice
time,
sight.
but for the most part, the existence is fairly relatively peaceful, fairly sort of
This is
peaceful.
nice.
Their comfortable homes are often situated near the places where they once
And you can fly in
labored
this
as
zone just like you
adherents
could
to
in
the
Dragonfly,
edicts.
right? Like straight
Those
away,
sites are
dynamic
now in
flying.
disrepair, and in some cases, the lair of other creatures. Of course, the Isle of Dorn boasts a great walled city where the Oathsworn live and serve the edicts of the Titans. The city of Dornagal is the location of many important civic buildings, markets, traders, and crafters.
I actually
And
really
it's
like
here
this. This is
that
nice.
A traveler will find the expected amenities of a capital city,
Lord
as
of
well
Rings, you
as the
reckon?
Titan Causeway, the defense of which is the Oathsworn's primary charge. Now, beneath the surface of the Isle of Dorn lies our second zone, the Ringing Deeps.
Is that our
As
train
the name
track?
suggests, it is here that the Earthen are engaged in their work in accordance with the edicts. In these industrial areas of this cavernous space are huge
Okay, one of the things that I really liked back in the day when it was, I think it was Cataclysm at first introduced, was the Goblin Style Zone, and they had their little train carts and stuff. I got really hooked. You know, this kind of feels
complicated
like
machines, lava-heated foundries and forges, and waterworks, both to cool and to power huge machinery. Maintaining these Titan mechanisms and keeping everything running is both the responsibility and the passion of the machine speakers. The Earth has shifted too in places, revealing openings to the
Motherlode,
sky above to the Isle of Dorn. These cenotes bring light and water into areas once shrouded in darkness. Abundant greenery,
Oh,
flowers, and creatures
yes!
that do not
The
typically
kobold
dwell
make
in
a
caverns
return?
may be found in these idyllic spots. It was really important to us.
Yeah,
as
let's go.
developers
That's fucking
that
cool.
We delivered the fantasy of the hard-working industry, but still had some breakup areas of natural beauty that don't feel like dark, constrained tunnels. Now, as the machine speaker population has dropped, they've had increasing difficulties with kobold incursions. And indeed, the kobolds have taken over the mines, the work areas. They've even built a city of their own. Unexpectedly, the kobolds are actually becoming a force to be reckoned with under the aggressive actions of their leader, the Candle King. You knew it had to be a candle.
The Candle King.
No take candle. No take candle. With the passage of time, the earthen have diminished both in number and in the knowledge required to perform the various routines to tune and repair the processes. The old ways have been forgotten, and new creative methods must be employed if the edicts are to be obeyed. So they're kind of making it up as they go along. From the ringing deeps, we descend further into Khazalgar to reach Hollowfall, a vast hollow area in the earth, bordered by an endless underground sea. This tenuous foothold under the bright light of an enormous crystal has allowed the Arathi to survive.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Is that a crystal or is that the edge of the sword? Yeah. Bro.
Using their airships to travel to high plateaus and establish docks, light towers, villages, and even a priory. From their capital of Mereldar,
I thought it was
these
a sword
trapped
too.
people
Yeah.
strive to keep hope alive and spread the light, while engaged in a near constant battle with the Nerubians at their borders. The
This is
open
nice.
spaces, the bright light, and the greenery are intended to feel as though we're on the surface, somehow, rather than in this sort of strange hollow within Azeroth. The crystal provides brilliant light, warmth, and growth for vegetation. You may notice that all the blooming plants have opened their blossoms toward the light and seem to be reaching in that direction whenever they're in Hollowfall. Unfortunately, the crystal sun has been changing in recent years. Where once the light was steady and reliable, it now fades without warning, plunging the Arathi into darkness, save where they have built light towers and maintain their holy flame beacons. In the absence of this light, the dangerous Kobis and other fierce creatures emerge from the sea to rampage. As the Arathi are
I actually, I feel compelled to want to do this story. Like, actually, like I do. This seems fucking cool. This part of the story.
barely holding back the Nerubians, these unpredictable episodes are incredibly demoralizing and deadly. Happily, the light has always returned to the crystal, so far. And at the deepest descent in the war within, we reach the zone of Azj-Kahet. That almost rhymes. Anyway, the Nerubian city of
I love this. This is what I love. This is gonna make me get right into it. I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah, man. This zone I actually really truly like.
Threads has been built on the ruins of itself, over and over and over again. As areas decay and crumble, a new district is built upon its ruins, and as a result, the city climbs ever higher. Those Nerubians favored by the queen, or possessed.
Wait, just from those words alone that she said, ruins of the previous, etc., right on the top, right, and a brand new. Does that mean like you go in there and you like do deep delve type dungeons, and that's where the dungeon delve shit comes in? Is this where that is? Is that what they're saying? You just keep going down, sort of like the tower.
Possessing enormous wealth, or both, command the greatest views and live in the highest places over these swarming masses of the many districts. The Burrows is the home of the scavengers, the forgotten, deep in the decay and the filth. The Umbral Bazaar is a trading hub of fine silks, fascinating alchemical discoveries, and other exotic and hard-to-find goods. The Skanes are the home of the
there's a little spider on the
lore-keepers
side.
and scholars who toil to maintain the history of their people and research myths and legends of Azeroth.
That's real.
There are
Oh my god, I like this. This is nice.
many other districts and less than savory neighborhoods, both well-known and secret, that the careful adventurer could discover, should they risk life and limb to do so. But the key to such exploration is fitting in among the Nerubians and being accepted, an
Oh
enterprise
my
both
God.
best accomplished through skill in the use of pheromones and considerable bravery. The zone of Aj-Kahet features areas of spectacular dark beauty that are inhabited by these creatures that have found a way to live among the Nerubians without being deemed a threat, found to be particularly tasty to consume, or just too much fun to torment. The mobilization of forces to assault the Arathi while also providing military might to achieve Xal'atath's schemes has stirred up all sorts of inhabitants of the darkness. And deep within the city itself, the Nerubians are gathering an odd substance, the black blood of the old gods, for some unknown purpose. But I'm sure that's fine. And now I'd like to talk a little bit about our zone flow. As I mentioned,
Oh yeah, bro, let's
Awesome, huh?
fucking go. Let's fucking go. Your
we travel
own
from the Isle of
maps.
Dorn into the Ringing Deeps, into Hollowfall, and then into Aj-Kahet. In the War
Yes.
Within, all of our zones are connected all together using the airlock technology
Wow.
that we developed for Zarelek Cavern, allowing for this seamless descent from the Isle of Dorn all the way to Aj-Kahet. That was video I just captured last week of the transition between the Ringing Deeps and Hollowfall. As you can see, we built for dynamic flight, and we were able to flow directly between the zones without the load screen. There is some seriously amazing swoopy goodness to be had moving across these zones and through these spaces. It feels so cool to burst out of a really tight area and into just a huge drop like that. It's so exhilarating. Now, this blobby map that I've got up here was an early attempt during development of our zone flow to try to figure out how we would stack these zones together and achieve the relationship between their geography and geometry that made sense and felt great to traverse. We ended up with something slightly different than this, but this is pretty representative to explain what the world builders were thinking about when they planned these spaces out. It was really important to our design that while 3 of the 4 zones are technically underground, they didn't feel that way, and that they were distinctly different from one another. We pursued that goal by introducing the natural cenotes in the Ringing Deeps and leaning into the fantasy of the classic underground foundry and industrial workspaces. So even in the zone that felt the tightest, there's places that look as though they're actually on the surface. And within Hollowfall, we created a massive hollow space in a cavern so vast it feels like an exterior, with a huge artificial sun in the form of a gigantic crystal. And in Aj-Kahet, we leaned hard into traditional Nerubian architecture with hanging nests and huge palaces built all over a decaying city that just falls away into the depths. And that is the last bit of eye candy I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this peek at what we've got in development.
At least they're hard at work. I honestly appreciate this.
So now it's time for me to introduce you to Morgan Day, who's going to give you lots of information about dungeons, raids, and systems. Enjoy.
Let's
Thanks
go.
very much. Bye.
All right, the new dungeons, boys. New dungeons. Let's go. Show me the new dungeons, please.
Hello, BlizzCon.
I want
My
that
name is
shirt.
Morgan Day, and
Holy
I'm here
fuck,
to talk
that's
to you
nice.
about some of the upcoming content, features, and systems.
That's a
in
nice
War Within.
V-neck.
I'm sure I'll also make some funny faces that I'll regret later in thumbnails, but whatever. First up, let's talk about dungeons. There will be 8 new dungeons coming in the War Within, 4 during level up, 1 in each of the 4 zones that Maria just walked us through, as well as 4 at max level. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening in these dungeons. For instance, we have like a Kobold dungeon where you'll meet that Candle King, where there's like a light mechanic that takes place. You have to kind of keep it going to light your way. There's a dragon riding dungeon, of course, but also
A
one of my
dragon riding
favorites
dungeon
is
again.
The Cinderbrew Meadery that Maria just talked us through. So this is a dungeon that takes place on our first zone, the Isle of Dorn, which is where you'll experience, all of our earthen buddies, and this is the place where they make that Cinderbrew mead that she was talking about. They take in all that honey that they gather from throughout the zone, to make the mead, to do all kinds of fun and/or nefarious things with. Although I do have to say, I feel like they're a little bit behind the times. I feel like all the kids are drinking that, hard seltzer or something these days, but whatever. They're old school, I get it. Next up, our raid, the Nerubar Palace. So this is an 8-boss raid that will take place in the zone of Azj-Kahet. And this is really the culmination of all of those machinations we keep hearing about that we see play out between the Nerubian Empire, their queen, and her collaboration with Xal'atath. So for this next one, we don't normally show things this early, but I thought it'd be cool to share. On the left there, you can kind of see the top-down view of the raid, and on the right, it's more of like a side cutout. So we like to work on all of our dungeons and raids when they still...
I'm having a look at this. Boss. Doesn't seem like much. There is a choice.
It's much easier to iterate while we're in 2D than it is to kind of change the zones around once we're in the game and it's all blocked out. So to step us through the raid really quickly, after barging through the front door, you'll very quickly fall and/or get knocked into one of those giant pits of that black blood of the old god that you'll hear much more about in Azj-Kahet. And then you'll battle your way through the harvest pits, and then finally traverse your way back up through the stalactite wing, which is not a final name, I promise, until you finally fight your way into the Queen's inner sanctum, where you'll come face to face with her as the end boss. So as you can see, this will kind of feel like a winged raid in terms of the vibes, but in terms of the player experience, it'll actually be quite a bit more linear than what you might be used to for a raid with some winged vibes. So something that I also think is fun to talk about really quick is with all
every
of our
18
dungeons
months,
and
that sounds
raids, we
like
like
it,
to
yeah.
try to explore like what is the thing that's going to make this space feel really unique, that's going to make it stand out from all the other times that we've built these dungeons and raids. And with this space, we really thought that, given that we have the Nerubian to play with, they've got all these amazing like webs and silken threads that you can kind of traverse the zone through, we thought it'd be really fun to explore verticality as a major element to this raid. So I think that'll be really fun to see what the team comes up with for that. Next up, let's talk about...
It kind of makes me think, like, what the fuck is the point of having a web? If you're using it to traverse the place quicker.
systems.
What's it supposed to do? What's the point of having a web?
So I want to walk you through some of our features and
It's like
systems
ropes.
at a really high level. But first, I want to talk about some of the philosophies that are really guiding us to add these into the War Within. So first and foremost, we really want to continue to extend the philosophies of Dragonflight into the War Within. And really, when we talk about that, there's 3 main pillars that I want to touch on. First, we really want to make sure that we're focusing on evergreen features. We want to make sure that we're making World of Warcraft better forever and not focusing on things that we know we're going to have to leave behind as we move into future expansions.
Oh, thank God, man. That is fucking good. So when you get a fucking hero power on your character, you keep it. Next expansion, you still got that hero power. That's fucking cool.
Next,
That's why I'm so happy they
we
brought
want to make sure
the
that
Dragon
there's
Rider to the
something
next
for
expansion.
everyone. So whether you're a hardcore raider, a PvPer, a collector, or apparently like Holly, you just love to play tons of alts and run around the world exploring things, we want to make sure that there's something in War Within that you can really geek out over and that resonates with you. And finally, we want to make sure that we're continuing to build on our philosophy and build on our systems and content with people who play multiple characters in mind. We want to make sure... Woo! We want to make sure that we're building all of our systems to really respect the time of the player behind the keyboard and not focusing so much on the accomplishments of that individual character. So let's talk about Delves. Delves are a new feature that will be integrated into the Outdoor World experience, where the fantasy of these is actually that you'll be joining the Dragonscale expedition in their search for lost treasures all across Khazalgar. So Delves are an evergreen feature that is really integrated into that Outdoor World experience. We want Delves to be a new pillar of endgame content for those Outdoor World explorers. We really view this as something like when we added World Quests back in Legion, where they are going to be really integrated and transformative into that outdoor world, especially that endgame loop. So one of the main reasons I'm stoked about Delves is that these will provide an opportunity for us to give seasonal content and rewards to those outdoor world explorers. So that means Things like rewards that you're used to, like mounts, achievements, titles, but we'll also be adding a outdoor row to the Great Vault with War Within.
What?
So that all of you Outdoor World explorers will be able to share in the joy of rushing to the Great Vault every week to collect your loot. And there will also be 13 unique delves that we'll be launching War Within with.
I don't mind that.
And
That's
delves
pretty
will
good.
scale from 1 to 5 players and be role agnostic. So that means if you want to play a delve solo, that's totally cool. If you want to go with you and your partner, that works as well. Or you can bring your whole dungeon group in, and the delve will scale based on your group size and your roles.
Yeah, basically
And
the
I
old
would be
scenario
remiss
system.
if I didn't mention one of my favorite features of delves, which I think Maria alluded to earlier, which is that there will be an NPC companion joining you on all of your adventures. So for season 1, that'll be Bran Bronzebeard, as you can see.
Okay, I
And
really
Bran
like
will be
Brad
tagging
Bronzebeard.
along with you on all of your delve adventures, and will totally never, not even once, aggro a pack of monsters that you didn't want him to. And I don't have my fingers crossed behind my back right now. So Bran will have a customizable
That's pretty
talents
cool.
and mechanics and abilities that you'll be able to kind of load out to suit your playstyle and needs.
Like Corrupted Visions?
So,
I actually
maybe
didn't
you need a
mind
little bit
Corrupted
of extra
Visions.
healing. Well, you can load Bran out to provide that for you. And
Wait, you customize him.
finally, you wouldn't be exploring with the Dragonscale Expedition if at the end of every delve there wasn't this massive treasure trove that we need Bran to open for us, which hopefully brought a couple of keys to open some of the chests in there. But before Bran can open that that vault for you, you'll need to maybe defeat a boss, maybe you'll solve a couple puzzles.
Yeah, that's what I'm
something like
saying.
that, and then Bran will be able to open that vault door for you.
I'm really glad they brought Bran back. He's
Next
such
up,
a good
let's
character.
talk about warbands. It's happening.
Warbands. Okay, this is the part
So
we're waiting for.
warbands are a system that we're introducing that will really be the representation of all of your characters across your Battle.net account. Warbands are an opportunity for us to create a platform where you can share your achievements, resources, and all that other good stuff across all of those characters. So the goal of this system is really to be that representation of the philosophy shift that I mentioned earlier about really respecting the time of the player behind the keyboards and not those individual characters. There's actually a ton of additions and modifications. We've talked about a few here. There's no singular UI screen that says warbands. It's more of all these modifications and updates and features are kind of wearing a big coat that says warbands on the back of it. It's how I kind of keep it straight in my head. But just to talk about a couple of those cool features, we'll actually be revisiting
Oh,
the
you guys are
transmog
right.
rules
You weren't
of
fucking
how
bullshitting
you
me.
acquire those appearances in
You
the
guys
War
weren't
Within.
bullshitting me. They actually
So
doing
for
it.
all of you who have So that means all of you who have probably had to run 4 characters through all of those legacy instances just to make sure you're collecting all the appearances, that won't be the case anymore in War Within. You'll just be able to run it with 1 character.
Oh, that's so cool! Transmog farming, let's go!
Holly mentioned this already, but this is obviously one that people are looking forward to. All of our reputations as well as renown in the War Within will be shared across your entire account.
Yes! Yes! That's the best change ever! That is the best change ever!
Last
Roar.
but not least, let's talk about hero talents. So here's a quick mock-up of what the UI will look like that I think really helps explain how these integrate into our current talent trees. But really quick, let's take a look at how this will work. So there will be 3 new hero talent trees per class, and 2 will be available per specialization that you can freely choose and swap between. And also, this is another evergreen feature. This is a system that we think is going to provide a new vector of choice and customization for you and all of your classes, as well as create opportunities for us to really dig into some of those core class fantasies that are, so amazing. So Hero Talents will introduce these new, small, self-contained talent trees like you just saw in the UI. And the way I like to think about it is like, currently we have two types of talent points, right? We have class talent points and specialization talent points. And now in the War Within, there'll be a third type called Hero Talent points. So let's look at a quick example, which hopefully explains it a little bit more. This is a warrior, as you can see. These are the 3 hero talent trees that they'll have available: Mountain Thane, Colossus, and Slayer. And as you can see in the top left, we have Protection, who will be able to choose between Mountain Thane and Colossus. Up on the right, you see Fury. Yep, that's right. Mountain Thane and Slayer are their options. And down at the bottom, Colossus and Slayer are their options. So this is how the majority of our classes are going to look in the War Within. The exception of...
I'm busy. What?
Well, just see, an egg come in at $81. I got $81 for $1 bet.
Nice. Good on you, Mum.
Of course, being druids and demon hunters, who are a bit special, so theirs will look a little different. So let's take a look at how you'll unlock the system, as well as how it'll feel playing through as you're leveling through the War Within. So the system will automatically unlock at level 71, and it'll just kind of appear in your UI. You'll earn 1 talent point per level as you level from 71 to 80. And there are 10 talent points in total, with several choice nodes along the way. So I like to think of this as being similar to like the Legion artifact, where as you were leveling and progressing, you were making some choices along the way, but ultimately you're going to unlock the whole tree. And also, I want to be very clear here. These are extremely low friction to swap between those choice nodes, as well as to swap between the different hero talent trees.
So, okay, so the new system is like, the new system is exactly like the old talent system. Like remember when you used to level up in Shadowlands, and then like you choose like the 1 talent and then go down. It's that system again, repeated, but on top of your system that already exists with the talent trees. And you just switch the nodes as you go down. Am I right or wrong? Or do you just have everything or something like that? Kind of.
So, you know, this should be very analogous to your current talent trees and will follow all the same rules that you used to there. So, you know, at the start of a raid boss, you know, before Mythic Plus starts, before an arena match kicks off, and anywhere in between. And to wrap us up, I wanted to show off a really quick video of what hero talents look like in action. So this is a warrior, as you can see, pop an avatar, jumping in. And this next one is that same warrior with the Mountain Thane talent tree. As you can see, Stormbolt hits multiple targets. There's a couple of cool new V effects, and a lot of other cool stuff going on there as well. I heard some oohs. Ooh. Our effects artists will be happy. So that about wraps us up for our What's Next panel.
I'll be honest with it. I'll be like, that's how I feel about it.
We hope you really liked what you saw here, and if you'd like to know more, please join us tomorrow at the Deep Dive panel at noon, where Ian will walk you through some of what you saw today in more detail. Woo, Ian! As well as a bunch of other cool new stuff in the War Within. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a great BlizzCon.
What do you guys
Bye.
feel? Guys, tell me, like, what did you guys think when you heard that? Like, I was like, oh, Wes, that's cool, and then it's like, you know, and that's how I felt about it. I was like, I'm neither impressed or not impressed. I'm happy there's new shit, but I'm not entirely convinced by that hero stuff. It seems cool, but it seems too simple. Yeah. I don't feel like either impressed or not impressed. It seems good, but it just doesn't seem that cool. But yeah, I like it. What's the next one? Is there a deep dive one out yet? Is there the deep dive panel or no? Or is that about to be released? I'm curious to know if it's all passive or more buttons to press. Yeah, that's the same thing as me, Magic. It's like people will be like, oh, click on this talent. You're going to need this one because it does giga damage. And it's just going to be like presets almost. And I don't know. It just doesn't feel... I don't really feel like I care, you know? I really don't give a shit. It's, you know, it's something that you look at a build, it's like, oh, this does more damage. Click. But I mean, that already exists currently. But you know, I don't know. It seems weird. Also, new VHX effects, depending on which of the two you choose, is nice. I mean, I'd love some more customizations like that. You bring up a really good point, Kay. You bring